Hello friends, welcome to the channel. Today we are going to discuss a topic which is very common but usually ignored, and it is very important for us to take any kind of investment decisions, and it does have a very huge impact. So we'll discuss this today. There's a particular branch in economics which is said behavioral economics, and we study a lot of behavioral activity and mental biasness and psychology there before we taking any decision. So how does it impact, how does it flows, and what are the various consequences of it? We'll try and study or see that in the slides coming up slides. So first thing is there's a particular term called cognitive bias. अब cognitive bias एक ऐसा टर्म है जो behavioral economics में काफ़ी ज़्यादा यूज़ होता है, लेकिन हमें समझना पड़ेगा excuse me, हमें समझना पड़ेगा what is this cognitive bias. अब cognitive bias जो है वो एक mental shortcut है जो हमारे decision को influence करता है, जहाँ पे हम for example let us say हमें लगता है कि ये the particular investor is buying a stock, so I should also buy. So there is one kind of bias which does have an implication in our decision making. तो इस तरीके के मल्टीपल बायसेस होते हैं, उसको हम कॉग्निटिव बायस कहते हैं. अब फॉर एग्जांपल लेट अस से अनपैकिंग अ हॉट हैंड फैलेसी. अब हॉट हैंड फैलेसी क्या होता है? हॉट हैंड फैलेसी ये होता है कि जो पिछला परफॉर्मेंस किसी पर्टिकुलर स्टॉक किसी पर्टिकुलर फंड का रहा है, वी थिंक दैट कि पिछले परफॉर्मेंस को बेस करके हम आगे के परफॉर्मेंस भी बढ़िया रहेगा, एंड वी ट्राई टू बाय द पर्टिकुलर फंड और पर्टिकुलर स्टॉक. सो इस तरीके के बहुत सारे बायसेस होते हैं. अब यहाँ पे एक टर्म आया है गेम स्टॉप फ्रेंजी. नाउ व्हाट इज दिस गेम स्टॉप फ्रेंजी? गेम स्टॉप फ्रेंजी, सो यूएस में देयर वाज अ कंपनी who used to do a lot of online gamings and sell a lot of accessories of gaming accessories and all those things, and there were a lot of hedge fund who were short, जिन्होंने इसको शॉर्ट करके रखा था, थिंकिंग दैट द कंपनी के प्राइसेस काफ़ी नीचे जाएगा बिकॉज ऑफ वेरियस रीजन्स. नाउ दिस वाज highlighted by some retail investors. Retail investors को पता चला कि नहीं, ये तो काफ़ी शॉर्ट करके रखा है, why not to buy this and let us see what can happen. And lot of retailers start chasing the particular company, kept on buying, and they also spread a lot of rumors about the particular company stock price, and everybody started buying. As a result, जो हेज फंड थे उनको काफ़ी बड़ा एक लॉस हो गया, एंड जब उन्होंने अपने लॉस को रिकवर किया करने के लिए शॉर्ट को जो कवर किया, तो उससे शेयर प्राइस और बढ़ गया, और एक महीने के अंदर द स्टॉक प्राइस जंप 2000%. तो उसको हम गेम स्टॉप फ्रेंजी कहते हैं, क्योंकि ये पागलपन है. फ्रेंजी व्हाट मीन्स इज पागलपन. सो दिस इज़ व्हाट दिस टर्म मीन्स. अब सेकंड इज़ दैट वी ऑल्सो फील दैट कि ओके, द रीसेंट मार्केट वोलेटिलिटी जो मुझे लग रहा है एज एन इन्वेस्टर, व्हाट आई फील, और ट्रेडर व्हाट आई फील, दैट this belief of that I am able to forecast the future performance, ठीक है. So this volatility also does play a lot of role, where we feel that okay, this volatility is this much, then it's going to perform this much higher. So this is one another kind of bias. And we have the third bias is that we have a very precarious situation where we think that okay, we are going to forecast the next market move, and we are going to forecast the next particular stock move, and we are so much trapped into this belief that we will be able to forecast the next market move and next particular stock move, that we keep on ignoring the particular fundamentals and think that we will be successfully able to forecast the next market move and make money. Now this is again a very big bias that does have a impact on our trading or investment decisions. We'll follow up on the following slide. We'll see how does it happen. Now one thing is called hot hand fallacy. Hot hand fallacy is something which we just discussed. It is a cognitive social bias where we feel that the past performance of a stock is very much strong enough for us to believe that आने वाला टाइम भी ये स्टॉक काफ़ी ज़्यादा अच्छा परफॉर्म करेगा, इसका शेयर प्राइस काफ़ी ऊपर जाएगा. जो पिछला परफॉर्मेंस रहा है, तो उसके हिसाब से हमें ये लगता है कि आने वाला परफॉर्मेंस भी काफ़ी अच्छा रहेगा. अब उस चक्कर में व्हाट वी डू इज़ दैट वी टेंड टू इग्नोर द पर्टिकुलर फंडामेंटल्स एंड द चेंज ऑफ a lot of factors that does influence stock price. For example, fundamentals हमें लगता है कि the management is very good, but we are ignoring the fact probably कि debt काफ़ी ज़्यादा बढ़ गया है, इसके revenues loss हो रहे हैं, काफ़ी कोई नया competitor आ गया है. We tend to ignore it, but हमें बस ये दिखता है कि इसका पिछला परफॉर्मेंस काफ़ी बढ़िया था, so we should buy the particular stock based on its past performance. Now this is called hot hand. This is a cognitive bias which does influence lot of investment decisions. And second is hot hand belief. Hot hand belief is this particular thing with a retail investor where he's too much influenced by this hot hand bias, but on a fund manager level we tend to ignore this. We say okay, the particular fund has performed very good in past, and it is going to perform good going forward as well, and with particular fund we tend to be biased and keep on buying it. And there might be again the case we discussed earlier, there might be some change in particular fundamentals, or there might be some change in particular overall business circumstance which fund manager is not able to probably take into account. So this is also prevalent when we choose a particular stock and when we choose a particular fund. So let us go forward. In the coming slides, we are going to see TCS. TCS since 2021 gave an astounding return of a CAGR return of 21.48%, but from 2021 the average return is around 2 to 4%, 4% including the dividend that the company gives. Same is the case with DMart. On the right hand side you would see that till July, from March 2017 till July 2021, overall return was 58%. Now that is very amazing. But since then the overall return of the stock is minus 7.64%. Again, we cannot rely on the way it has behaved in the past, and we all and so that it's going to also behave in the future. The return that it generated in past will also be generated in the future. So this is when our mind is too much anchored, and this is called hot hand, where we are too much anchored to the fact, to the belief कि पिछला परफॉर्मेंस काफ़ी बढ़िया हुआ था, आगे का परफॉर्मेंस भी काफ़ी बढ़िया होगा. So these are two live examples that I presented to you. Next is confirmation bias, anchor, and how does it influence our overall mind setup. So initial price points becomes unbreakable. For example, let us say there are two kind of biases in here. Once that if the stock comes to 100, then only I am going to buy. Now stock never comes to 100. It keep on going to अब 100 से 200 हो गया, 300 हो गया, 400 हो गया, 500 हो गया, पर वी मिस्ड इट आउट. फर्स्ट. सेकंड बायस इज कि अगर हमने 100 किसी स्टॉक को 100 पे लिया है और वो 70 चला गया, 80 चला गया, मैं तब तक उसको नहीं बेचूंगा जब तक वो 100 नहीं आ जाए. वी आर कीपिंग, द इन्वेस्टर इज लूजिंग मनी, बट सिंस ही इज एंकर टू द पर्टिकुलर प्राइस, ही डजंट सेल. तो दिस ये बायस मार्केट में काफ़ी ज़्यादा है, दिस पर्टिकुलर अबाउट ट्रेडिंग एज वेल एंड इन्वेस्टिंग एज वेल, जहाँ पे लोग काफ़ी पैसा गंवाते हैं इस बिलीव में कि जब ये स्टॉक पर्टिकुलर नीचे जा रहा है तो वी शुड बुक आर लॉसेज एज अर्ली एज पॉसिबल इंस्टेड ऑफ वेटिंग फॉर इट टू कम टू द परचेजिंग प्राइस. So this is called anchored. अब ये confirmation bias, next is confirmation bias. Now what does confirmation bias does? Confirmation bias ये करता है कि we tend to develop our own theory, ignoring a lot of fundamentals, to feed our own ego that the stock is going to go up to our purchasing price. We believe that okay, we bought it at 100, it's going to 70. Then we keep on, the mind keeps on developing reasoning, particular theories, that no, the price is going to come up to 100, and then probably only I will sell. So this is a confirmation bias that is very along with anchor and confirmation bias. Let me tell you, it's a very deadly combination, and most of the investors do feel the pinch. They do not liquidate their particular positions because of these biases only. Okay. And the other factor to it is that we keep on finding reasons in social media why a particular stock should go up and what is good about it. So they also do have a lot of influence on our particular decision making when our mind is too much biased. For now, the same example that we said or डिस्कस बिफोर कि 100 रुपये पे हमने लिया, 700 चला गया, अब हमें लगता है कि 700 रुपये काफ़ी बढ़िया है, पहले 1000 रुपये था, अब 700 हो गया, सो वी विल बाय इट. बट वी आर नॉट रीजनिंग द फैक्ट कि भाई ये 700 रुपये जो गया है तो ये क्यों 700 रुपये गया, क्योंकि उसके पीछे फंडामेंटल्स जो हैं वो काफ़ी ज़्यादा चेंज हो चुके हैं. हो सकता है कि उस जो 700 रुपये भी स्टॉक है जो हमें अच्छा लग रहा है क्योंकि पहले वो 1000 रुपये का था, उसका फेयर वैल्यू 500 रुपये हो गया हो, बट वी डू नॉट टेंड टू follow this and we keep on making the same mistake, hot mistake, where we keep on buying the same stock. Okay. Now what is dangerous in investing and trading? The reason is that most of the traders, what they do is that they keep on holding the particular stock or a particular position even if they're losing money. Now even if the price is going dipping day by day, but then we keep on either averaging or holding to the existing position. That is lethal, that is very dangerous. And overall fair value, what we think and what the market thinks and what is the true value, we keep, there's a lot of distortion. For example, we saw that के 1000 वाला stock 700 हो गया, उसका ओरिजिनल प्राइस 500 होना चाहिए फेयर वैल्यू, बट देन वी कीप ऑन बाइंग. हमें ये लगता है कि पहले काफ़ी बढ़िया गया था, ऑल टाइम हाई गया था, इट्स अगेन गोइंग टू गो अप. सो दिस इज समथिंग which is very have a very negative effect on our investment and trading decisions that we do day in day out. So anchoring bias says that it will bounce. Confirmation bias say I was right, you see. But disciplined bias says that okay, cut the loss, we are not going to hold on to the price any further, cut the loss and exit, minimize as much as we can. Now there's a loss aversion thing. The loss aversion is a theory where it is said that one 100 rupees gain, and the joy of 100 rupees gain is less than the pain of 100 rupees loss. So this slide talks about it only, that a particular gentleman who bought 100 rupees on the road, found 100 rupees on the road, he feels very good, and when he loses 1000 rupees on the road, he feels very good. When he loses 1000 rupees from his wallet, he feels terrible. Same amount, but the overall loss hurts more. And the same is with the particular stock, where we buy a stock at 1000 rupees and falls to 850, and we think that I will hold on, it comes back. Now this is again the bias of anchor, confirmation bias altogether, and it's a loss aversion as well. ना तीसरा इसमें आ गया लॉस aversion. एंकर बायस है ही हमारे पास, प्राइस से हम हुक्ड अप हैं. कॉन्फर्मेशन बायस आ गया, वी आर ट्राइंग टू क्रिएट रीजंस जहाँ पे हमें जिसको वो जस्टिफाई कर सके कि हाँ हमारा जो डिसीजन था वो सही है, हम मेंटल वो रीज़न तैयार करते हैं. तीसरा लॉस अवर्जन, कि भाई जब तक ये 1000 रुपये नहीं आएगा तब तक हम नहीं बेचेंगे. सो दीज 3 बायसेस आर वेरी वेरी डोमिनेंट इन आवर डिसीजन मेकिंग एंड ट्रेडिंग डे इन डे आउट. इससे हमें बहुत लॉस होता है, और डे इन डे आउट लॉस होता है, जहाँ पे हम अपने माइंड को, अपने साइकोलॉजी को कंट्रोल नहीं कर पाते हैं, एंड वी कैन नॉट रीजन इट करेक्टली द वे वी शुड. ठीक है. अब वाई लॉस अवर्जन इज़ वेरी डेंजरस इन ट्रेडिंग, ये इसलिए होता है क्योंकि वी कीप ऑन होल्डिंग लॉस. ये तो डेली की बात है. अगर हमने एक लॉस हुआ, इंस्टेड ऑफ कीपिंग एज डिसिप्लिन कि भाई हम 3% से ज़्यादा लॉस, वी कैन नॉट टेक इट, वी शुड एग्जिट इट, हम वो नहीं करते. वी कीप ऑन होल्डिंग द पोजिशन टिल द टाइम it doesn't becomes too big for us to go through, and because of the biases that we have already discussed, we do not use stop loss. That is again a very 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 ugly decision that somebody takes. भाई अगर आपने लिया है तो you should always use stop loss. और अगर आपका लॉस हो गया है, you have booked the loss, then you over trade, you trade too much just to cover the loss. कि भाई ओवर ट्रेडिंग के मुझे 1000 रुपये का लॉस हुआ है, देन आई विल ट्राई एंड ट्रेड टू मच. 2-3 बार मैं ट्रेड करूँगा ताकि मेरा 1000 रुपये का लॉस कवर हो जाए, एंड दैट लीड्स टू फर्दर लॉस. एक्चुअली होता क्या है कि वो मोस्ट ऑफ द पीपल हु मेक लॉसेस बिकॉज दे ओवर ट्रेड इंस्टेड. ठीक है, इट्स मार्केट, समडे यू गेन, समडे यू लूज, बट देन वंस यू हैव लॉस्ट, डोंट ट्राई एंड फाइट द मार्केट. Try and understand and accept it and then leave. You should have a stop loss. But because our mind is too much biased, or psychologically we are very much trapped, we also keep on taking a lot of emotional decision which prudently doesn't help our investment or trading decisions. Now, what can we do to come out of it, right? So there's a thing called post-mortem. Everybody knows it. Now there's also a thing called pre-mortem. So before taking a decision, we should ask ourselves, why are we taking this? What are the reasons? We should reason out. We should write it all in a paper and think कि भाई अगर मैं कोई पर्टिकुलर पोजीशन ले रहा हूँ तो मैं क्यों ले रहा हूँ, क्यों ये लॉस नहीं हो सकता है. So we should have such kind of discussion, or we should always and always refrain FOMO कि भाई ये स्टॉक तो ऊपर जा रहा है, मैं बीच में एंटर करता हूँ, कहीं मेरा अपसाइड मिस ना हो जाए, एंड दैट इज़ व्हाट इट लीड्स टू अ बिग लॉस. These are institutional traps in particular trading, जहाँ पे इस तरीके का सिचुएशन हर रोज़ होता है, डे इन डे आउट होता है. और इन्वेस्टमेंट को लेकर के इंस्टेड ऑफ ट्राइंग टू फोकस ऑन वन कप ऑफ बास्केट or one stock of basket, we should try and diversify it so that our overall potential to lose a big amount reduces. Why? Because it will be diversified. For example, if we have to invest 1000 rupees, 1000 रुपये में इन्वेस्ट करना है तो हम 2-3 स्टॉक में इन्वेस्ट कर दें इंस्टेड ऑफ ट्राइंग टू गो इन अ पर्टिकुलर स्टॉक, ताकि अगर एक का कोई बहुत कुछ ऐसा नेगेटिव हो गया तो दूसरा जो है उसको बैलेंस कर सके. दैट इज़ what are the processes to do that? आप ऑटोमेट करिए. अगेन दिस इज़ पर्टिकुलर फॉर ट्रेडर. आप अपने सिस्टम को ऑटोमेट करिए. उससे क्या होगा कि आपका जो मेंटल बायस है ना, कोई भी बायस आपका इसमें नहीं आएगा. फॉर एग्जांपल, इफ़ यू हैव बॉट अ स्टॉक एट 100, आपने ऑटोमेट कर दिया कि हमारे पास स्टॉप लॉस रहेगा 10 रुपये का या 5 रुपये का स्टॉप लॉस. तो वो ऑटोमेट करने के बाद, ऑटोमेशन इज़ जस्ट लाइक अ रोबोट. दे आर नॉट गोइंग टू बी इमोशनल, और दे डोंट हैव एनी इमोशनल बायसेस एज वेल. एंकरिंग और कन्फर्मेशन और लॉस अवर्जन, किसी भी तरीके का बायस उनके पास नहीं है. दे विल सिंपली गो हेड एंड कट. ठीक है. सेकेंड इज दैट you should reason it, and you should try and behave like a devil's advocate, that if I bought the stock, I should have a reason why it will not fall. I should reason it with myself day in day out before making this decision, and once we have made the decision, then we should automate it and be with it. And if we have all those systems in a place and mental psychologically we are prudent enough without any biases, then Even uh, if it is very much dangerous, or let's say it's very much unpredictable, if we are rid of all these biases, at least we will not fall, we will not have a big loss, and we won't fall in our generating returns, in an effort to generate returns, you see. So that is what our effort is, that overall psychological biases should have minimum impact or probably no impact in our making investment and trading decisions. And if we have particular decisions, then we should try and ask ourselves, have a particular system in place, and psychologically be very, very prudent enough not to be influenced by any other thing beside the decision that we have taken. So and there are psychologists as well. Daniel Kahneman and Tversky were two who received Nobel in this, who received Nobel Prize for their particular insight, their insightful insight into stock market and decision making and all those, right? So hope you would have liked the video. I will be coming up with such more such interesting videos with a particular different perspective. Hope you would have I mean enjoyed the overall session, and in case if you have, then please click the like button. See you tomorrow, see you later. Thanks for watching. Take care.